Yo, what is going on, guys? We're back today for another Alliance War video. And this one we have another massive war. We have 8 total fights for this one. Last one we had 9, but they weren't all complete fights. We had to take some after other people already took some off. So it technically wasn't 9 full fights, but today we got 8 full entire fights. And we're bringing a very unique team. We got Nick Fury, Quake, and Captain Marvel movie. I'm not going to be using Quake at all, but I'm going to be using Nick Fury for one fight, and Captain Marvel for all of the rest. My 6-star rank 3 Captain Marvel finally getting some war action with her, which is awesome. So you see, I went ahead and bought a 6-hour boost because they actually cost the same amount of units as the regular lowest attack boost. It's the same amount of attack, but one's based for war. And that one lasts for 6 hours, so I'm like, dude, that's a way better thing if you're going to be boosting for war. So with this first path here, we have a hazardous shift, incinerate, and poison. So you can see he has a little passive incinerate icon. So when I hit him, when he has that, there's a chance for me to gain incinerates, and it switches to poison. It's a pretty simple node. And with Captain Marvel here, it's really great for her because it just pushes her into binary ignition so fast. You can see we finished that fight with a full yellow bar, full binary. It's literally just perfect. Could not have gone better. I had left out double edge just in case, because I had placed my defense, took off suicides. When the war started, I had them off because I didn't know what my path was going to be. So I put on half suicides, and then I just, I was like, I might as well just wait till after the first fight once she's built up, and then I'll put on the bleed suicides. So just trying to save myself a potion. Now next up, we have the same nodes on Killmonger, but there's also Resistor, and like Resistor, it's one of those nodes that I just look past. I think of it as like a nothing node, and I don't even, it's not on my mind at all, because I don't think it's really going to be relevant in the fight, but it ends up being quite relevant, because you see my damage here is just terrible. That special 2 didn't even get under 40%. If we got some crits, it might have honestly killed him, but yeah, no crits, so it just hit super weak. I think Killmonger has some crit resistance. This guy's also a stubborn defender, which is pretty annoying. My plan was just to blitz him down here, and now we're unable to do that. But I'm going to get off a couple of heavy attacks, rebuild all of my binary. But now you can see I have those incinerates on me from the node, and they're not doing that much damage. They're really just tickling my Captain Marvel. I took a little bit of reverberation damage towards the end there because my armor breaks actually fell off. It's going to cost a couple potions, but we're okay. So this next fight here, alarm went off. I've been doing these fights a little after waking up. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead. 2 big potions into Captain Marvel. Kind of annoying. Or maybe I'll go 1 6k and 1 3k. Yeah. Alright. So now this Domino, I was a little bit worried about this fight. So I took this fight with I took the Domino on this node with Omega Red. And that went really well. But I've never done it with Captain Marvel here. So there's Matador. So basically how Matador works is the defender has to throw a special for you to get a bar of power, which is really annoying. There's also Cold Turkey on this node. So if you purify a buff, you degen. So right here, you're going to see me purify my bleed. But it says degenerating over there. But since we have the indestructible up, we're safe. So that node doesn't really matter. So we're okay. I just have to not get some BS happen to me against this Domino. I gotta just watch for her evades. It's not really that hard of a fight. I just gotta be careful. My parries land. I'll throw a heavy attack, try to keep some of my binary. I threw on a combat regen for this fight. I thought it was gonna be harder than it actually ended up being. That was definitely a waste of a boost. Didn't need that. Also just trying to save potions because if you think about it this way, a combat regeneration boost heals 15% of your current health. So using that on a 6-star rank 3 boosted champion heals for way more than it would on a 565 unboosted. The amount of that 15% that you're regenerating is so much more on a 6-star. So it's kind of more worth it. That's kind of the way I was thinking about it, to save the potions, because it'd be a lot of bang for my buck regeneration point-wise. But now we move to section 2, and this is a thing with encroaching stun and power reserve, and also stupefy. Stupefy is another one of those nodes where I think of it as nothing, but that stupefy is actually extremely important. because if you get stunned from encroaching stun, the stun's length is going to be doubled. So even if you have max limber, the stun is going to be on you for an extremely long amount of time. You're probably going to die. So that stupefy is actually important. But just don't get stunned, and it doesn't matter. But yeah, so this fight was actually originally assigned to DAP in my battle group, and it was assigned with Quake. And I didn't know that it was actually, I was looking through the assignments, I didn't see it. I just saw like this thing here, and I was like to Taters, yo, can I take this? Nick Fury, I think it's a pretty good matchup. I got stun immunity if I lose my LMD. So yeah, I'm feeling like it's a pretty good matchup. And he's like, we had Quake, but yeah, so I ended up taking it in DAP. Wasn't too happy about it that I kind of stole his fight. Yeah, so I don't know, I thought Nick Fury would be pretty good here. And it's definitely harder than I thought it was going to be. I just didn't really account for the stubborn as much as I should have. But as you can see, my really only goal is the encroaching stun, to keep the encroaching stun off me, because I don't want to lose my life model decoy, because if I do, I'm going to get a really big fury. I'm also boosted and I have suicide zone, so my medium attacks, if they strike a critical hit, they'll actually trigger things protection on every medium crit if I lose my LMD. So I don't want that to happen, because then I could fear of maybe timing out or something. So yeah, just don't want to get hit by that encroaching stun. So yeah, definitely one of the big things that I'm trying to watch for in this fight. I'm very good at fighting Thing. I can fully evade his L1 right up against the wall. I just have a lot of practice against this guy in general. When he first came out as a mini boss and I was an Omni, I literally took him 10 times per week for his AQ week, like both mini bosses every single day with Nick Fury, and it was extremely annoying. It was extremely annoying, but that was a lot of practice, so I'm kind of thankful for it now. But like that fight in AQ, the old second Thing mini boss is much harder than this fight right here. So I have a lot of experience fighting Thing with Nick Fury, so it's definitely a long fight, but I'm just playing slow. You can see I've lost a lot of my health, but pretty much like 80 to 90% of the health that I have lost is just from recoil. I'm just throwing my specials to avoid the encroaching stun. This fight would have been better without suicides, just for that reason, maybe, but it's okay. It's not gonna prevent me from getting out of this fight, or at least it hasn't yet. The stubborn is honestly just the most annoying part about this fight. But yeah, having the life model decoy still active also, if I screw up on a special or accidentally push to do a special free, or somehow he just gets to it, I got that safety net, which is just what I love about using Nick Fury in Alliance War. And right here, get one more combo, get off that special 2, and we took him down. So that fight was over 3 minutes long. So if we were on with the old timers, I actually would have timed out. But with the new 5-minute timers, it wasn't too much of an issue. Just took it slow. And yeah, I actually really enjoyed myself in that fight. Like I said, it was a little bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be. But when I went in there, I was just like, I can't die to this fight, or DAP is going to be pissed, because it was originally his fight with Quake. So yeah, I was just like, he won't let me live it down if I die to that. So that was some good incentive to not die. But now we move to path number 8 in section 2 here. And we have this weird weakness node and also some heal block. So buff and balance weakness, also some redoubled determination. But basically this buff and balance is whenever the defender gains a buff, the attacker receives a weakness debuff, and the only way to get rid of this is by throwing a special attack. But against Omega Red, it's not really going to matter because he doesn't gain buffs. So right there you see I put on an invulnerability boost, and I'm not worried at all about this fight right here, but I'm really worried about the next 2 fights. Well, no, not the next 2 fights, mainly the third last fight. It is a Iron Man Infinity War. I'm a little bit cautious about it, so my plan was for this invulnerability to carry over to my next 3 fights. So right there you see my special 2 just ripped that Omega Red apart, dude. Just ridiculous. I put on a 30% boost with my Captain Marvel here, so She has 55,000 HP right now, a lot of attack, and with those Furies, she is just hitting like a truck. So here, that buff imbalance node is actually relevant because Venom gets buffs. So you see I have those weakness debuffs on me, but I'm just going to chill, parry, builds my binary ignition, and now once we're in it, I actually just realized I purified all those weakness debuffs from Venom when I triggered my binary. I just realized that. But my plan was just to throw an L2 and blitz him. But I actually killed him. Like the hit that killed him was right before I even threw the special technically. So I didn't even need to throw that L2, but I did, but it's okay. That last medium on him hit for about 21,000 damage with the crit and the energy damage over time combined, which is insane. That's hitting harder than Dreamin's rank 3 Corvus. But now we pull up to this Iron Man Infinity War. Now, I'm very used to fighting Iron Man Infinity War. Captain Marvel's not my favorite champion to fight him with. You know, I love like Void, just because you can really control his power and you never really have to worry. Void's one of my favorite options, but with Captain Marvel, my plan was to blitz him. Right here, I got very unlucky with the armor up procs. He triggered, I armor broke him like 7 times, and then like my last 2 hits before I threw my special 2, gave him 2 armor ups. So my L2 just did not crit, and it was reduced damage because of those thick passive armor ups. So he ended up not dying. He used L3, but that was fine. You know, I planned for that with the vulnerability boost. I forgot about his plasma damage on the special 3. It did a little bit to me, but we're fine. Got out of the corner with some heavy counters, countering his heavy with my heavy stuns him. So yeah, I was able to rebuild my binary ignition, and we're good. Now this last fight is really interesting because there's no global node because the boss is taken down. So the strategy here is there's a Doom boss with Stubborn. Pete took it with Ghost, but this Medusa here, the one link it has is that hazardous Incinerate Poison shift node that we fought before with the Incinerate and the Poison. So with Ghost, you know, she can phase through those, turn them into Furies, and just hit harder on Doom. So that was the plan. So I was supposed to leave this node up until everything else was gone. Then once the boss went down, I went ahead and started to fight it, healed up a little bit, put on a little boost, and yeah, going with Captain Marvel here. So Medusa is stun immune here, and she's also got that hazardous node, which is, again, not too bad with Captain Marvel. It just kind of tickles for damage-wise. But the stun immunity is really annoying here. You know, Medusa, she can always auto-block you if we throw a second hit while she's got those Furies. So, you know, I'm just going to bait out heavy attacks and throw my heavy attack just to deal some damage, keep my binary ignition active. There's literally no more fights on the map for me to even do, so it doesn't matter if I run out of binary ending the fight, but I just need to keep it up during the fight. Right here, throw another heavy to counter her heavy, and then right here I don't heavy counter her. I just wasn't really feeling it when she throws this one. I don't know, she kept not wanting to throw it, then right here, oh no, I did. Maybe, is it? It must have been earlier in the fight. I definitely did at some point, but got pushed my special 2, pop it, and yeah, she goes down. So, like I said, didn't need to worry about my binary because the war's over. The boss is already down. But the really cool thing is that because the boss is taken down, there's actually no Stubborn. So like the Stubborn global tactic is gone because the boss gives that out. So if I think Medusa is a Stubborn, I'm not even sure, but if she was, she wouldn't have been because that Stubborn's gone. And they also get like some health and attack, I think, from the boss as well. So yeah, it's really cool doing that with the boss down. And so we actually ended up winning this war. We only had 14 deaths as an alliance, which is definitely a new best for us. My battle group had 2 deaths, which was really solid, and they died quite a bit. It was a bit of a mismatch. You know, this has been happening quite a bit with these new alliance wars because everyone's rating was cut. But yeah, I actually had technically the best war in the alliance power rating wise. We got another gold card, which is really cool. My second ever gold card, and it's 2 in a row, back-to-back wars, which is just so sick. So as you can see here, we're not one of the top MVPs, but the way for Loki, you know, we calculate all of our scores for the nodes and the numbers and everything. The way those numbers are crunched, it's whoever has the highest power rating for one specific war. 1 and 2 get the gold and silver cards, and I actually had the most power rating this war. Even though I'm not one of the MVPs in the game, I had the most power rating. So yeah, that's really cool. 8 fights and 2 gold cards. So yeah, that's awesome. Now let's go take a look at the stats for the season, see where I'm at in BG3 and in 4 Loki overall. Alright guys, so we're back now, and if we take a look at my stats now for the season, we are at 33 kills, only 2 deaths still overall. We didn't die. That's 3 wars in a row, which I am extremely happy about. Starting a little bit of a streak. We're up to 94% for the solo rate. My adjusted difficulty rating is over 44. SR bonus is at 4.57. It's finally out of the negatives and starting to go up there because we stopped dying. My power rating is 44.32. And my TDR per fight, which is like gauges how difficult my fights are, is a 1.26, which means I take pretty difficult fights. And so my power rating in BG3 is 3rd, and my power rating in 4 Loki overall is also 3rd. So in BG3 we have the number 1, 2, and 3 power ratings overall in 4 Loki, which is crazy. So right now it's Dreamin', Bryn, and then me, and we're all like super close. Like no one else in the alliance is over 40 power rating except the 3 of us. And let's see, those guys are at, Dreamin's at 45.54, Bryn's at 45.50, and we're at 44.32. So we're neck and neck right now. It is extremely close, those top 3 spots. So yeah, I wasn't expecting to be this high in power rating, and I don't think I'm going to be able to stay this high by the end of the season, because for these last few wars I don't think I'm going to have very many fights because I'll be gone. But you know, so far like we started the season off pretty bad, so you know we've definitely been on an incline now, which is great. So yeah, another war down, no deaths, which is great. Very interested to have the next war. I'm loving war, man. It's so much fun when I wake up, find my path, and then throughout the day doing war. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed me not dying again, drop a like, subscribe if you like to see more content. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.